So I want to talk about two things real quick, and then we'll dive into your data. First, I promised I would talk about K2 assessment. Have I answered all of your questions? Okay. I want to talk about K2 assessments very quickly. Do I have any kindergarten teachers in here? Okay. Used to be? How many people are going to be talking to kindergarten teachers? Okay. So they're going to talk something different than the rest of your K2 teachers. K2 is supposed to be beginning of year to end of year, and they do like a difference of it, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But we couldn't do that for kindergarten, and there's a simple reason why. Here's what I'm able to assess because of reading ability. Majority of our students started right here. In fact, here's a rough, very rough skew drawing of it. 90-some-odd% of our students scored in the bottom two scores. So that means out of this entire state, you two students are the only ones who look different from everybody else in the state. We couldn't come up with growth scores because of that, because everybody was actually way below what they would have been. So everybody's growth scores have been just terrible. So go to middle of year, which is still skewed, but not nearly as drastically, and we start at middle of year. So from middle of year to end of year, and then for first and second grade, beginning of year to end of year, what we do is, what's your name, miss?
Lauren.
Lauren. Lauren starts MOY at, or BOI for the other ones, starts at, let's say, a B, book level B. What we do is we look across the state at all the kids who started at a book level B. Where did they all get to? Okay? Where did she get to? And the difference there is your growth. That's all there is to it. Now, I have to stop the kindergarten teachers to talk about, but I don't get credit for that BOI to MOI. I don't get credit for that. I've actually heard, why don't we hold our kids back and then start teaching MOI so we get more growth out of it? Well, that's, first of all, horrible and professional malfeasance. But here's the thing about that. They're inappropriately conflating progress with growth. Those are two different things. Progressing through the textbook is one thing. Progressing through the book level is one thing. A, B, C, D, and so on and so forth. But growth is where the kids started to where they ended. So if she started at B at MOY and started going, once she hits, I think it's G, they start F. They start reading or writing. When did they start reading? F. So if I held her until MOY and then started teaching, she would have started, let's say, at PC or whatever it is, RB or whatever they are. She would have started there. But when she got to the writing, she would have slowed way down. Now, everybody slows down when they hit writing. But she would have slowed down even more because she didn't have those skills from first semester to get her through that. So your growth scores are actually going to plummet because of that. So if you ever hear of a teacher doing that, it actually will hurt their scores in the long run. Okay? They do get credit for that first semester because wherever they started at MOY, they have the skills from the beginning to then move through the rest of the books at a better and more in a deeper rate. Cool? Okay. You're not happy, are you?
No, because there are just too many human variables with that assessment. It was never intended to be used that way.
There are a lot of things going on there, but here's the one answer to it that I know to be true because we've done some studies on it. Law of large numbers, it does wash out. I know that is no consolation whatsoever. I understand that. But we've heard of some things happening. They are looking at what they can do about it, and they need your feedback. These decisions were made after or before I was hired, so I don't have any, I know nothing about K2 except for what I just told you. I've never looked at Amplify, but I do know I've had this conversation and heard this a lot, and they are looking at different things. I don't know what.
And I'd be really curious to see if they did a growth comparison according to third grade TRC, Amplify, and third grade VOG.
I'll ask Tom. I bet you Tom would like to do that. That's my boss. I bet you he'd like to do that also. Can you do me a favor? Can you email that to me? Sure. Otherwise, I will not remember. There's no way I'll remember. But please do email it to me because I think that's a really interesting thing that I would love to look at myself. Now, the problem with it is, it costs us money to have EVAAS run both. But if it's something that's worth it, we have some grant money we might be able to throw their way, we might be able to do that.
It just seems like it would help establish validity.
Yeah.
Looking at one versus the other.
Yeah. Please email me. I think it's a great idea. No, I'm not promising it's going to get done because nobody listens to me. But I think it's a great idea. Okay. Shout out, if you teach mathematics or you work with math teachers, I put my favorite thing down there, Stephen Linewan, Accessible Mathematics. Got a shout out in the back. If you want to teach mathematics better, if you want somebody to teach mathematics better, if you have a kid who has a math teacher, get him this book. $15, 84 pages. Took me an hour and a half, 2 hours to read. It's the best thing ever. He's nuts, but he's great. He wrote that book in a week, by the way. Isn't that crazy? He was held up in Fallujah. He was helping the Iraqis redo their, or Afghanistan, whichever country that is. He was helping them the Department of Ed redo some things, and he couldn't leave his hotel. So he just wrote that book in a week. Isn't that crazy? The guy's brilliant. All right, let's do this. All right, this is your value added report for your district. I am not going to show you a school. I will look at your school with you, but I will not put a school up here, okay? If you want to share data with people, first go up to account and hide teacher, student, school, district names, whatever, you can hide it. And all it is a data point after that. So if you look, I left the district name up there, but if I had a school, it would have been like school ZHQ or something like that. It's a data point. All right, this is our value add report. I want to talk about how we read this. This is math. Reason I look at math is because there's more peaks and valleys with math. ELA is closer to, more people are green in ELA. It's a nationwide phenomenon. There's all kinds of theories, nobody really knows why, but we all have our theories. See this 0.7, negative 0.7? Why is it red? I thought 2 to negative 2 was green. Anybody have any guesses? This is not the value added. This is the growth measure. What do we have to divide the growth measure by? Our standard error. 0.7 divided by 0.2 is negative 3.5. The value added is negative 3.5 right here. So that's why it's red. Same thing here. 1.0 divided by 0.3 is roughly 3 1/3. So it's 3.33. So that's why it's blue. I don't know why they do it that way. I've never asked, but it bothers me myself. So 0.5 divided by 0.2. Okay, it's 2.5, I think. Yeah. All right, so that's the value added report. Really doesn't tell me a whole lot. All boys and girls. So what I'm going to do now is go to the diagnostic. Yes, ma'am.
Diagnostic under the teacher name, whenever that's available. That's when you would suggest for sitting down with somebody. Teacher diagnostic is going to be the easiest and most valuable.
Might not be the easiest. I don't like using that word, but definitely the most valuable.
It's not going to look like that where I have to divide stuff by 2 before I can figure out what it is.
Good point, good point. This is the diagnostic. Similar to the teacher diagnostic, these are fifths of the state. So if we look across at your district, I'm going to point something out. See those gold bars? See how we were exceeding expected growth, and now we're meeting or does not meet? Something had to change. And those are the conversations I want you to have, either at the teacher level or at the PLC level. What changed last year to this year that caused us from going from blue to green or blue to red? And it's not as simple as the kids, because it's not the kids. Because academically speaking, those are the exact same kinds of kids. It's about the adult behaviors. What adult behaviors in the room change? We change curriculums. Well, is it because the curriculum isn't matched to the standards, or we're just not comfortable with the curriculum? Which is it? Is it we're still teaching what we like to teach? I always give this story. I was teaching geometry, and then one time my Algebra 2 teacher and I were sitting out waiting for our kids to come in the room. We shared a wall. And he goes, "Hey, why are your kids so bad with matrices?" I said, "Because I don't teach them." And he goes, "Yeah, you're supposed to be teaching those, man. I hate matrices, still do." So I never taught them. Didn't know they were in my standards. I had no idea. For a whole year, I didn't teach them. Next year, I taught them. So are we teaching what's in our standards? Those are questions we need to ask. They're not in the geometry standards anymore. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yes, I was right. I was just ahead of my time, I guess. Like 10 years ahead of my time. All right. I can't show teacher reports. Like, I'm not allowed to. If Kim gives me permission to look at your report, like, I don't know if you want me to do that or not, to look at their individual reports with them.
Or do you want to share like one?
They can't access their own until Thursday. Can anybody in here access theirs?
No.
Yeah, I was kind of afraid of that. Yeah. So it's up to you. I would rather not. I think your principals should be the first ones to do so. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about your teacher diagnostics. Oh, I got a better idea. Oh no. Oh, maybe it's still there. What's going on here? What's going on here? Nope. Not you. Let's check. You. That's it. I'm going to the Wayback Machine for this one, y'all. Oh, are you kidding me, you buttheads? They took it down. Never mind. I knew they were going to. All right, I got a backup plan. You guys ready? Don't worry about the whiskers. Teacher sits down with this teacher report. What's going on? Yeah. Who's supporting them here? EC inclusion, Title I money, all of that's going on. So that might be a teacher who right now is getting a lot of EC support and needs maybe teaching to the lowest. Yeah, happens all the time. So did I do that example with you guys? This is my AIG table. Everybody, it's 1 through 31 odd. You guys, it's 1 through 31 all. Can you help them when you're done? That's how we differentiate for our top kids a lot of the time. That's how I did it. That's wrong. It's not about more work. It's differentiated work. All right. Second one, what's going on here? AIG Support. You know who else is involved in this one? Parents. Parents are coming in yelling at me. EC Support. Who's advocating for my lost middle? Happens a lot. Yep. Remember that teach in the middle that we did? You know what happens there a lot? Follow the curriculum map to the letter, because curriculum maps are designed to teach to the middle, and I'm not differentiating for the sides, for the tails. That happens. I got one more. I think only one more. What's going on here? We're not reaching the lowest. Who are we reaching? Why? What could be going on here? Give me an example.
Is it maybe a higher class overall?
Say it again.
You've got a group with a higher, more students are at the higher level versus maybe just 1 or 2 students that are in the lower level.
We know with differentiated classes that all students do better. Yes, that's totally possible. I have a class that overall is higher, so I teach to a higher level, and I'm losing some kids. Absolutely. I teach at too fast of a pace. What else could be going on? What about middle table I haven't heard from? Any ideas? What about homework? I give reading assignments and I give homework and I don't go over them. Who's more apt, who's more likely to understand homework that I don't go over? Your lowest kids or your top kids? Who's got parents, more than likely, parents at home who's going to help explain it to them? Who's more likely to have a tutor that's helped explain it to them? Top kids. So when we give homework and don't go over it, we end up getting we don't get as much growth out of our lowest kids. Or I use a lot of worksheets. I drill and kill. Our top kids can get that. They can extrapolate from that. Our lowest kids have a little more, they struggle more with that. As Steve talks about, homework is it's a whole chapter on homework and how it should be done, which I totally believe in. All right. What final questions do you have? I think I'm going to let you guys out way too early. I don't know if the streets can handle you guys. Yes.
Maybe way outside your realm. of
Please.
what you-
I'll let you know if it is.
So, I teach high school history, and now we're going to allow AP, those AP students can replace the regular course with AP, but don't have to take a state test.
Uh-huh.
Any complications you're aware of with that?
You want to talk about it? You want to answer her? We had the same conversation in back.
I mean, I was just wondering if it was like, with K, like, you've heard some rumblings and questions about it, or not at all.
So, how many people in your teach or work with people who teach AP? They will not be included in EVAAS.
Right, but
But
like, the way
I'm-
they used to do it was you took the AP, but you actually had to take the state test too.
We're not going to do that. Whoa. Everything I say is accurate as of 2:50 today. Tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen. So as of right now, no, there's no plans on doing that. But here's what happens. If you teach AP that are more than 60% of your classes, then you do the ASW process.
Yeah,
If not, then they just don't count for your. So if you have 4 history classes and 2 AP history classes, you get growth standard 6 for 4 classes and nothing for the other 2.
right, but that's one of those.
That's what it is.
Into your year to year too, if you have a whole lot in AP all of a sudden, well, you just took your top scores out.
Whoa. Wait a second. Well, say it, Elizabeth.
You're only comparing kids to the same kids at the same type of data, so
And the,
So, like we talked about, if you're really good at showing growth out of those kids, then that's going to hurt you. But what if you're not good at showing growth out of those kids? They just do really well on tests. And they've been doing well, then it helps you. Remember, we got to get out of that, and it's so hard. It's such a mind shift, I know. But we're not talking about passing a test.
and I'm less worried about the individual teacher, that more impacts the school numbers. Like when they're saying proficiency and this and that, the stuff that gets.
Oh, that I have no saying. I see what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, whatever,
Do you-
it'll work itself out.
Do you notice I have a little laser light focus into growth, and I don't even think about proficiency?
Yeah, I was just kind of curious.
I don't know how they're going to, nope.
Discussions about that at all.
But I can tell you who to email, and he'd love for you to contact him. Testing accountability people are a little more.
Yeah.
But Curtis Sonneman would be the one to contact about that.
I mean, in growth, it works itself out.
Shoot me an email with that. If you shoot me an email with that question, what do you know about AP students taking EOCs and NCFEs or whatever? I'll go ask Curtis and I'll give you an answer. Yeah, and all he can do is what he's heard.
Yeah.
Mhm. What other questions do y'all have? Yes, ma'am.
Because right now, I'm a coach, but they haven't changed my stuff over, so it's just 4th and 5th grade. So I'm a top, so I can go into reports and stuff, but you're saying that it won't show me this upcoming years, like if I were still in the classroom? Is that what you're saying?
I have no idea. Folks, how many of you are instructional coaches? Raise your hand. Instructional coaches. I don't know what kind of access the district has given you. Sometimes you can see other teacher reports, sometimes you can't. It really depends. If you want that access, you need to talk to your principal. Your principal and or your district are the only, I have no say on what you should be able to do and what you can't. But if you're being switched over, like you will be able to see your data from last year if you're a classroom teacher.
Even on Thursday or something?
Yeah, Thursday, on the 19th.
Okay.
It is a principal decision. So just ask your principal whether, and I'll tell you, I see both sides of it. I can see reasons to let you have that access, and I can see reasons not. So whatever your principal decides, they have a good reason for it. That's it. I don't have an opinion on that one. What else? What other questions do you all have? Yes, sir.
How do you get the scale on some of these tests?
How do you get what?
I don't teach math, but last semester, if I get 6 math questions right, I'm gonna have a 70
Like how they figure out
on that scale, because then you get the kids
Oh.
like, that's all
Scale.
I need.
finals, I don't know if you're.
Sure. Yeah, I have nothing to do with it. That's a Curtis Sonneman question. Send me that question, I'll send it to Curtis. You know what he'll do? He'll give you a 3-page document that'll explicitly say how to do it, and you'll be sorry you asked, but you will have that info. Please shoot it to me. I'd like to know also. I've never asked Curtis because that's his. So at DPI, I'm afraid that too many people cross lanes. This is my lane. I will not dare talk about somebody else's lane because if they talk about EVAAS, I will lose my mind. Because too many DPI people are talking about that don't know what they're talking about, so I stay out of their lane. But I'll send you the person. Absolutely, Jack. What other questions y'all have? Now, I know how this works. We're going to break, and I'm going to be here for 40 minutes talking to individuals. That's fine. It's totally fine. Folks, I really enjoyed it. Please, 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 please go back and shout it from the mountaintop. EVAAS is not here to take your job. It's here to help you improve at the profession we've all chosen. If you need anything, please contact me. You have an advocate at DPI. I'm happy to help you with whatever or send you to the person you need to talk to, but I'll take care of you. All right? Thank you, folks. And if anybody has a beach house I can stay at this summer, I appreciate it. Appreciate it, y'all. Cheers. Have a good one.